With unprecedented damage to our nation's economy, this nation needs a new mission. We are calling upon the United States Congress to enact legislation to create a $4 trillion national infrastructure bank and put 25 million people back to work rebuilding the country. The United States is in a dire crisis, with over 44 million Americans currently unemployed. Making the problem even more severe, as a result of a 40-year deterioration of U.S. industries and infrastructure, dams are collapsing, bridges are falling down, and lead is contaminating our drinking water. Our infrastructure is just plain crumbling to the ground. Is there any wonder our citizens are revolting? The commitment that our government made during the Franklin Roosevelt and John F. Kennedy era is the same commitment our government must have today.
Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. We have a liftoff, 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Power
clear. Those who came before us made certain that this country rode the first waves of the Industrial Revolution, the first waves of modern invention, and the first wave of nuclear power. And this generation does not intend to founder in the backwash of the coming age of space. We mean to be a part of it. We mean to lead it.
Not since the Kennedy space program has the United States been so challenged. On July 20th, 1969, the United States made history by being the first nation to put a man on the moon. In the process of this historic feat, we discovered many of the technologies we depend on today, including computers, GPS, CAT scans, and much more. The quest for space inspired our young people to learn science with the hope of becoming astronauts and engineers. If the current state of affairs has taught us anything, it's the importance of science and technology. This is how we used to think as Americans. Franklin Roosevelt took office in 1933 during some of the darkest days of our country's existence. He inspired the nation to meet the challenge of defeating two foes, one domestic, one foreign. The American people rose to the challenge and turned a deadly situation into one of hope and optimism. We reversed the economic desolation and then transformed our economic prowess into a military machine to win World War II. During the FDR years, we built our country into the greatest industrial power on earth. We built the greatest middle class and the greatest membership in unions.
Before the Hoover Dam, the Colorado River was an untamed beast, unpredictable. Construction finally began in 1931, with the overwhelmingly daunting task of diverting the Colorado River, which required workers to blast through the canyon walls, creating 4 tunnels. It would be the first step of many, and over the next 4 years, the project would see no shortage of sacrifice, on its way to becoming one of man's most storied feats of engineering.
What cost was all this done? Boulder Dam and the powerhouses together cost a total of $108 million, all of which will be repaid with interest in 50 years.
When President Roosevelt dedicated the dam in 1935, he called it, quote, the greatest dam in the world. And with that, America turned a once devastating menace into an invaluable resource and national treasure.
In March 2020, in the face of sudden mass unemployment, House Resolution 6422 was introduced into the United States Congress outlining a $4 trillion national infrastructure bank. Not since Franklin Roosevelt has our nation used a national bank to address our country's urgent economic needs. FDR used the Reconstruction Finance Corporation to fund much of his economic miracle. The current National Infrastructure Bank is modeled on the original Bank of the United States created by Alexander Hamilton. The bank will be capitalized with existing Treasury bonds, creating no new federal debt. The bank will invest $4 trillion into states and cities to build infrastructure only. Professional economists estimate this investment will create conservatively 25 million new jobs. The legislation specifies these jobs will pay Davis-Bacon wages and mandates project labor agreements and Buy American provisions. There will be a special emphasis on job training programs for unemployed young people in the workforce who would like to join an apprentice program and learn a trade. They can earn while they learn. H.R. 6422 will give the country a second chance. Just like FDR's Reconstruction Finance Corporation, it will provide a way out of this crisis. Our mission is to get H.R. 6422 enacted into law. We are now in a countdown to make this mission real.
I mean, they could have built another Manhattan Bridge, couldn't they? And he didn't. He really aspired to do something gorgeous. So, it makes you feel that maybe you too could add something that would last and be beautiful.